I was 32 years old when I met my favorite teacher. His name is Mike Rose. There are a lot of reasons why people don't finish college, and I've been obsessed with figuring out why for a long time. One of the key statistics that stands out in education policy is that 1 in 2 people don't actually reach that finish line. And starting in 2008, I began working on a policy proposal to try to help more students succeed in college, and particularly in community college. In 2009, the Brookings Institution released a report that I had helped to co-author. And it talked about the importance of investing in community colleges, and in particular, in the additional resources that they would need. I highlighted the importance of good teaching, and I talked about the importance of putting investments into the infrastructure in these institutions so that students would feel like they were in a place that was special, that didn't have broken windows. And one of the things that I talked a lot about was the problem of what we call remedial education. People being placed into college courses that aren't really college courses. They're really redoing high school courses. Well, the report came out and I got a phone call. The guy on the other end said, "Hey, this is Mike Rose. I'm in Los Angeles. We don't know each other, but can we chat?" And I said, "Sure." And I knew exactly who Mike Rose was because Mike Rose had written a lot of very wonderful, big, famous books. And I kind of couldn't believe he was calling me. Well, he was calling because he had some opinions about what I'd written. So he said, "Sarah, your report's good. There's a lot that's in there. It's thoughtful. It's going to do a lot of good policy work." He was always really wonderful about talking about the importance of not just writing about research, but getting things into the public eye. He said, "But you got one thing wrong." And frankly, I was a bit taken aback, a little embarrassed. I was a professor on the tenure track. I had a PhD. I was at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Oh my gosh, I got something wrong. But then he said, as kindly as possible, he said, "Well, the thing is, you said that we don't know what to do to fix remedial education, that we're not quite sure what will work. But the fact is we know exactly what needs to be done. We're just not willing to do it." And Mike went on to talk about all of his work with students who were deemed unprepared or unsuitable for college, who couldn't do the reading or the writing. And what he had discovered, which was by treating them as human beings and recognizing them as having all kinds of assets as learners, rather than viewing them as deficits and rather than treating them like they were less than or not as important, he could help them succeed. And over the years that he mentored me and really taught me about what that meant, his work began to infiltrate my own. Today, one of the number one lessons from my work and the work that we do at the Hope Center for College Community and Justice is helping college leaders understand that just like doctors can be more effective when they treat patients as human beings, teachers in higher education, staff, administrators are more effective at helping students to graduate from college when we start by recognizing that they're humans first. And we think about things like whether they've had enough to sleep or a safe place to sleep at night or a meal or child care. 1 in 4 of them has a child. By recognizing their humanity, it's an important starting point that forms the relationship and it allows us to be able to get the material through more effectively. And Mike really brought that to my attention. I'll never forget it.